Today I will show you how you can make your own HDMI cable for the Onyx glasses. I've based this design on the readily available HDMI converter available on AliExpress. I've actually used it before in my other Onyx glasses build, so you might already have it at home. I will show you how you can trim it down to make it smaller and make it work with my glasses. First I will start by removing excess components. For this task I will use my ghetto soldering setup. I will add a lot of solder to the components which I want to remove. This will help with heating stuff up. Those parts which I'm removing won't be used anymore, so don't be afraid to damage them. Of course be careful not to damage the traces. Those tiny parts right here can be removed as well. I've marked the cutting lines using my knife. Those will help with trimming the board. I will use this to cut it down, but you should use something smaller instead. Cutting lines are a bit rough on the edges. This has to be fixed before use. Excessive copper on the edges might lead to short circuits. You can use scalpel to properly clean it. As for the cable, I will use regular 3.5 jack audio cable. I've already cut off one end, so I can start soldering. I've designed two-piece housing for the HDMI converter. It's really easy to assemble and it looks nice. I'll start by getting the cable inside the plastic part. It should be a tight fit so that the cable won't move. I've left the wires a bit longer so that the soldering will be easier. For this part you will have to use your multimeter to check which wire is which. My multimeter beeps when both probes are touching. This is how you can check which wire is which. Don't mind the wire colors, those are pretty much random. If multimeter beeps on contact, then it means that you have the correct wire. I've soldered each wire to its solder point on the HDMI converter. There will be detailed soldering guide on my Patreon page. Before assembling it further, I will check if it's working. As you can see, it starts working pretty much right away. Image is blinking a lot, but that's the camera's fault. It looks fine in person. Now I can push the cable back inside the case to close it up. Be extra careful not to damage the wires. I've printed the lid in orange to give it some contrast. I'll close up the housing using my spare soldering iron. This will merge both pieces nicely. And that's how you can make the official Onyx Classic HDMI cable. Thanks for watching, and huge thanks to all my patrons for your continuous support.